Hi, Vishakha. It's great to be speaking to you, and thank you for joining us today to share your reaction to the report's finding. As you've heard, the gender gap in mobile internet adoption across low and middle income countries have narrowed for the first time since 2020 and was driven primarily by women's increased adoption in South Asia. In India specifically, we've seen tremendous acceleration in digital adoption among women over the last year, with the gender gap in mobile internet narrowing from 40% in 2022 to 30% in 2023. We know that Jio has been working tirelessly to address the mobile gender gap in India for a number of years now. Why is this an important issue for Jio to address? And can you tell us about what you've been doing?
Thank you, Gagan. It's a pleasure to join you for the launch of this year's Mobile Gender Gap Report. Being a partner for GSMA's Connected Women program, we eagerly await the insights from this report as they help us get a deeper sense on the gaps that we still need to plug in order to achieve digital gender parity in the true sense. So, congratulations to GSMA on the report launch. Now, coming to your question and to put things into perspective, from a digital growth standpoint, last 1 year has been exceptionally significant for India. With the incredibly fast and extensive rollout of 5G infrastructure across the country, we witnessed massive surge in digital adoption. Geo has been at the forefront of this digital advancement. In the last 1 year or so, the data consumption levels on our geo network have skyrocketed to, actually unprecedented levels. In fact, the current monthly per capita data usage of around 28.7 GB on our network is unmatched globally. And Gagan, what is really, what's been really heartening is to see the extraordinary growth and uptake from rural parts of India. The fact that in 2023, rural India accounted for over 53% of total internet usage base in India is a testimony to the narrowing digital divide in the country. Now, specifically talking about the digital gender gap, I'm extremely glad and honestly quite relieved that as a country we managed to do a lot better on the gender gap index compared to last year. Going by a report from 2022 to 2023, there has been a 10% decline in the digital gender gap. This is quite remarkable, I would say, and I'm very confident that we will continue to build on these gains going forward as well. As far as Geo is concerned, advancing digital gender equality has always been a priority for us. We understand the implications of digital gender gap, especially in the current times when both social and financial inclusion necessitate digital access. From last so many years now, we've been consciously working to address the barriers for digital adoption, especially amongst women and marginalized segments. And if you ask me, we've always taken a 360-degree approach towards this. On the access front, we have endeavored to provide the most widespread and most affordable broadband access in the country. When it comes to device affordability, which is again one of the topmost barriers for digital adoption for women, we have constantly strived to innovate and create an ecosystem of affordable India specific devices. Our JioPhone has been a game changer. And now the Jio Bharat phone, which was launched last year, is yet another revolutionary 4G feature phone that is available at a price point of just rupees 999. And it has some of the most compelling features, including support for UPI payments. In recent times, we also focused our efforts on addressing the usage gap, which we found was profoundly higher in women. We are working on large scale digital skills training program for women. We are innovating on application side by leveraging transformative technologies like AI, NLP, IoT to create locally relevant digital applications, especially in areas like health, agriculture, education, which resonate with women and rural communities. And we are also adapting most of our digital offerings in various regional languages to drive further adoption and uptake. And last but not the least, I would like to mention and acknowledge our strategic partners, both GSMA and USAID. They have immensely supported us in our journey and have made invaluable contribution in our digital gender gap initiatives.
Oh, that's wonderful, Vishakha. Like we've been following geo stories all around, and quote many examples all across the world. Now you've mentioned, you've been doing a lot of work around this. So my next question is around, the work you're doing. I like to, so there are a number of barriers women face, to using mobile internet in India. For instance, in our survey, women report a lack of mobile internet awareness, literacy and digital skills, safety and security concerns, and affordability as the key reason they do not use it. Now, we are aware that Jio has been working to address some of these barriers and have particularly amplified its focus on digital skills training. What are the main learnings of your work to tackle barriers for women face?
Uh, Gagan, frankly, quite early on in our digital journey, we had recognized the need to address the digital skills barrier, which we felt was preventing millions of Indians, especially women from rural communities, from accessing mobile based digital services. And in that endeavor, we had engaged with some of our partners for digital skills early on. Unfortunately, while their training toolkits were good, we realized that they were not relevant for Indian audiences. The content was not resonating with the base that we were targeting. Unlike other countries, India is very diverse in terms of languages, dialect, and other nuances. In fact, what works in a state like Uttar Pradesh will not work in a southern state like Tamil Nadu. That is when we embarked on the digital skills program with GSMA with the objective of creating India specific toolkits. These toolkits were designed post extensive field research, and a lot of credit goes to GSMA and the research partners for this. In fact, even the learning pathways, as you are aware, were selected after accessing the actual need gaps and priorities of women and marginalized segments. One of the very important learnings that we got from our landscaping and research phase was that just like location, need gaps also vary as per gender. We found that women tend to prioritize needs which are socially acceptable, such as home and lifestyle, children's education, and so on. So this was crucial input for us while selecting the training use cases. Once the initial set of modules were ready, there was extensive pilot testing conducted across 4 states, basis which the toolkits were further refined and fine-tuned. In fact, post the pilot, we actually added an additional video module for generic mobile handling skills. As you know, during the landscape phase, we realized that women from rural communities were not even familiar with basic mobile features. The digital skills program was finally rolled out at a national level last year. During phase one, we covered over 13 states across India, leveraging Hindi, English, and Tamil as language mediums. We've already reached out to close to 100 million Indians, leveraging different channels for dissemination, like our extensive GeoStore network, our foundation's network of self-help groups for in-person training of women, and of course, digital channels targeting low or limited digital skill users. And now, with the help of our Reliance Foundation, we've adapted these training modules into 9 additional regional languages. And very soon, we'll be rolling out the program across 10 more states. And so far, we are very happy with the program uptake and response that we are getting. We are already seeing an uptick in adoption levels from women. Of course, once the phase two is complete, we'll do a more in depth assessment in terms of the impact. But we are very confident that this program will have the desired impact in narrowing the prevalent usage gap and in bringing more women online.
Absolutely. I think this is one of our favorite topics. We can go on and on, but our time is running out. So I'm going to move to our last question. So our latest data highlights that more needs to be done across low and middle income countries to accelerate digital inclusion for women. As a final reflection, based on your experience, what are one or two significant actions which we can take to address mobile gender gap?
Gagan, if you look at the digital gender gap, it actually tends to widen and amplify at each leg of the mobile internet journey. So, right from mobile ownership to mobile awareness to basic mobile broadband to more regular and more diverse usage of internet, the gap actually widens at every stage. So I firmly believe that we will always require a multi-pronged approach to address the barriers at each state of internet journey for women. However, from an India standpoint, I feel that handset affordability and digital literacy are two very significant barriers which still continue to disproportionately impact women and girls. So, if I have to pick the top thrust areas, then it would definitely be expanding the ecosystem for affordable handsets, and B, greater focus on digital skill training. I think collective rigor in both these areas can result in significant gains from a digital gender equality standpoint.
Perfect. Thank you, Vishakha, for being with us and sharing your views with our audience, and most importantly, for your support in bringing the gender gap down in India. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Gagan. Thank you.